Hi, I'm Dave Paul.
I'm Betty Paul.
I'm Sue Enders.
I'm Rob Enders. I'm also the group leader for the Tri-County Empty Nesters.
I think, like me and Beth's, like a lot of people, had our assigned seats in church for like the first 2 or 3 years, or 4 years. But beginning of this year, we decided to sit at different places in the church, and it allowed us to meet people that we see but we had never talked to, or and I started asking people, how many years have you been coming to CWC? And it just so happened, and this was back in March, I think. Right after church, I noticed this couple in front of us, and I hadn't seen them before, but I didn't even remember them coming in. I think they probably came in late. So we started a conversation, and that was my first question. How long have you guys been coming to CWC? And they said, this is our first Sunday. I said, oh wow, great. And we struck up a conversation. We talked about going to the hub, and Rob and Sue were either sitting beside us or close, and we all just started talking to this couple. Mm-hmm. And that was the initial meeting with them. We come to find out, and this is why this kind of thing is so important. We come to find out that over the last 5 years, this couple has gone to at least a dozen different churches. And that Sunday morning in our church was the first time that people took the time to say hi and just get to know them and welcome them, and outside of the greeting, at the doors or whatever. And that really hit me as an important part of our of how to connect with people on their first Sunday here. And then from there, as the relationship developed, it really was Rob and Sue, mm-hmm. who, and I'll turn it over to them. It's really Rob and Sue who kept running into these guys and
facilitating from there and moving on to.
So I think we just meshed initially very well. The six of us just struck up a conversation and we all seemed to really enjoy conversations with one another. And in the sea of 1,000 people on a Sunday morning, we continued to see them every Sunday. And so every Sunday we would have a little conversation with them and got to know them just through Sunday mornings and the transitions that they were making. They had been here to the area and then moved away and then had come back. And you could just tell they were really hungry for fellowship and really wanted connections. And through the conversation, we had mentioned something about our small group.
We had an opening, and we just kind of felt like God was kind of pushing us in the direction of, continue to keep talking to this new couple, and see where it leads. And we texted the people in the group, and we're like, hey, look, we met this couple. We decided to pray about it and had everybody pray about it and see where it would lead. We decided to go out for dinner.
Yeah,
the two us, our two couples, and then this new couple. So
I think it was a great way to start sharing each other. And that they offered the invitation, do you want to meet us for dinner or something? And they said sure, and that gave us an opportunity to just talk. Who we are, what we're up to, and whatever. And then Rob, gave the invitation, please pray about it like us. And you offered them time and said, if you would like to try our group, if it doesn't work out, no worries. Mm-hmm. We're here as fellowship and want you to come to us and join if you want. And it was such a good night. It was a great night.
And we invited them, and they came, and they've been part of our group ever since. So. But that dinner was, I thought also was important because we really got to know them. We all felt that God really had put them, in front of us.
And can I say too, for us, like when we first came to church, we didn't know anyone either, and we just decided, okay, we're going to set up on the bleachers. But one thing then, within a few weeks, there was a couple that said continuously, like we did, hello, how are you, how was your week? And they invited us, hey, second service, we're always in the well having coffee. Come over and sit with us at the well.
Yep.
And that was a very kind invitation that made us feel welcome.
That's right.
And I love what had, speaking of the invitation, Dave's comment about how long have you been attending CWC? So that gets rid of that awkwardness that you might have if it's someone who's been attending and you just haven't run into them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a great way to start a conversation with couples in the church or singles in the church, is just asking that simple question.
Yeah. And we found too, and a wonderful thing as we try to do now, as we move around trying to meet other people, is we'll say hello and our name. And it seems if you stop with that, then they say, oh, hi, my name is, and try to start remembering names with the faces.
And getting back even to the new couple, one of her comments in a text that she sent me was just, we feel so loved and welcomed already, and we are new to the group. And it was just something simple. We whipped up a quick meal and ran it over with some flowers. But it just really meant a lot to them. And sometimes what we want isn't what God has planned. And that, I think, was the thing we were most concerned about, was bringing another couple into the group after she had lost her husband, but she welcomed them in as well. So often what we want isn't necessarily what the Holy Spirit is leading us to.
I think you have to kind of trust your gut too a little bit. And kind of when we first met them, I was like, I think they'll be a good fit. But at the same time, you don't want to go and just jump the gun and not pray about it and not ask God what you think you want him to do. But he didn't put any roadblocks in the way. It was kind of more like, we really think it's a good fit from the get-go, and nothing was put in the way. Like nothing stopped. And every Sunday, all the conversations, everything was really, there wasn't any kind of hiccups or anything really. By praying and understanding that God will kind of guide us in the right direction, we kind of knew even from the first day, but we wanted to kind of honor his will and say, okay, we got to ask several times. We got to say, what do we do? You know what your personality of your group is, and you know we've only been meeting together for a little over 3 years, but we've all known one or several people in our group longer. We all have an interconnection where one of us or two of us knows someone in the group for several years longer than what we've been getting together. So everybody kind of had a good idea of how we would mesh.
There was someone that came in the church not too long ago that had shared to someone, I'm coming into church, I want to be here, but I'm by myself. I don't want to be by myself. And I was praying, God, have someone be there for me. You might be that person. Because there was a person that was there for her, and she said that afterward, and I thought, that's what you may be called, you may be that person that someone was looking for. You may be that person that Sunday. As Arlie says, Pastor Arlie, look around to see if anyone's out there by themselves. Look for that